There is a bigger story, which is this vastness, like when we look at the sea and we just see the surface, but there is much more underneath it. I personally can recall that fabulous moment where I was practicing freediving for the first time and being underneath the water and expanding myself into the vastness of this liquid form. Time stopped. My thoughts changed, became reality. And this is a junction where things shifted entirely. Water, just by touching the skin, allowing the nerve system to drop into something that is much similar to a dream state while we are awake. It's very easy to understand on the scientific point of view, because basically the skin is in the relationship with our environment. It relates all the time to the sense of safety. Is it cold enough? Is it too hot? Can we fix it? Can we make it better? When you're allowing the skin to meet with the same temperature as it has, something in the whole nerve system drops in a snap. And that by itself is a healing purpose for, this modern culture where doing a lot, pumping up with caffeine, being very, very up to things, but then sleeping not regularly, having the nerve system very irritated with a lot of information. Just allowing yourself to bring the nerve system into an ideal state, a really rejuvenating state. That by itself is healing on so many levels, to the heart system, the cardiovascular, the muscular system. All of them are just immediately interconnected. We give so much focus to our brain and our heart, but today science understands that a lot of our being is actually generated and manipulated by the state of our internal organs. Just by placing all of our internal organs in the place where all of those sponges are becoming weightless, shapeless, the power that they perform on our spine and directly on our diaphragm influences the way that we breathe, influences the digestive tract, and immediately all of our sense of well-being is starting to even be secreted by this hormone called NAF, that is being secreted just by the fact that our internal organs are floated and have less gravity applied on them. And then come this really fascinating point, all of us carry somewhere in our cells, carry this memory that is not coming from the brain, where we are carried in warm water, where we are safe, where we are nourished, where we don't need to take care of other things, where we don't need to be responsible or in control of other things. The sense of being in control is almost like a modern pandemic. People feel that this is what will bring them safety, but in a sense, if you look at babies, and all of us were, babies are born with the full capacity of trusting others. They still don't know how to walk or even how to talk. They can trust. This is the default that we are born with. And when we can come back into that feeling, in that memory that we are trustful to ourselves, to others, a glimpse is already a taste of peace, of a memory that we had of it. One of my personal heroes of this generation, Carl Gustav Jung, he presented this concept of collective consciousness. And the collective consciousness is really where I feel that the water, or all the humidity, all the waters of this planet are the representation of this collective consciousness. Water has memory, you know. Every time that something goes through the water, it's being imprinted into it. That's what was so far shown by science. And the amazing thing about water, that it doesn't even clang into that memory, just store it and keep on moving onwards. And then you have water that comes from the rivers, flow into the ocean, then evaporate, become the clouds, and then it rains and become a waterfall in another place. And people are bathing in it or drinking it in other places, it become part of their body. This is the actual manifestation of collective consciousness that we have around us, and keep on being affected by all of its surrounding, and keep on transforming all the time together with us. We are water, we are filled with it. I can definitely say that there is softening that water represented into me. My rhythm was much intensified. There is a soothing of my whole way, even the way that I speak, even the way that I'm moving, I feel it became more liquefied or softened by just being in this element so many hours along the years and years and years. I tend to believe that there is an ability, more flexibility in my mind, this ability to change with time, to not be fixated so much as I was before. I grew up with two brothers. We had a tendency to fight a lot on a daily basis. There was this anger, this presence of, you know, revenge or feistiness. My beliefs about things growing in place where politics were playing in such a deep way, generic groups between religion or even soccer teams. Everything was deviated to so much separation, and you have to take the entity, which otherwise you're not part of them. I feel that this kind of like mentality shaped my mind to be more fixated into a lot of separation boxes. The water eventually is kind of like merging everything together. You know, if you take mint, sage, and ginger, and you put all of them into water, water doesn't give you the opportunity to drink all of them separately. It's all becoming a tea, it's all becoming unified. The water brings this philosophy of unification, and I feel that along the years, probably also from traveling and moving, but I think that also just by being so connected to this element, something in the school of thought just fused itself, you know, flexed itself into something that is more unified. Relatively, in the humane way. Where did I understood that I'm going to teach? Wow. You know, there is such a classic phrase that says that the teacher is ready when the students are coming. Yeah. I took my way humbling. I didn't want to rush. And I really honored my teachers, and until today I do, and I mention their names on a daily basis. I arrived to the Dead Sea, a place where people came since the beginning of times to experience the quality of the water and the quality of the healing of the water. And surprisingly, with all of the big industry of tourism that exists in this magnificent place, there is thousands of spas, so many thousands of therapists, and nobody was offering water therapy there. I remember arriving to this beautiful place with hot springs and the seawater, seeing all of the big list of massage that they offer, and asking a little bit bold, you know, the manager, you know, like, how long have you been waiting for me to come here? I'm a great believer in karma. I believe that we are born for a reason. We are here for a reason. Each one with their own reason. It can be a huge reason, it can be a minor reason. But our soul thrives to manifest it. As I notice when I'm stepping into this healing practice that I'm doing, my physical pain can dissolve, my thoughts and wonders can transform into something else. When I'm stopping it, when I'm going into a different direction, and there were a few times in life when I was considering, mostly because of finances, okay, let's just go for something that doesn't require my interest of helping others. Let's just help myself, adapt into this reality, this paradigm. And I could really feel my inner side, something inside of me was suffering, was just calling like, Ofer, stop it. Just come back to your essence. This is yourself. I really believe that people are unified by this, certain have ancient calling for themselves to do certain things, certain are coming, and it might be something that really call them because this is what they are born here to do. Some of them are just maybe having some suffering inside from a bad experience that they passed through, some trauma, and that wound is actually the one that is supporting them to go through something that eventually will be in the benefits of many others. I grew up in Israel. I've been exposed to the famous conflict of Israelis and Palestinians as a base of my childhood, of my growing up. Many people that actually understand politics very well can swear that the base of all of that is actually connection to water, to allowance of water as a source of life, to a country, to a land that was based on agriculture before and needs water to drink. Many of the relationships of the national, international conflicts that we're having in between continents are based on the accessibility to fresh water that can actually flow well.